This woman was acting crazy. Let's see if I can get a picture of her. Is she coming this way? She was playing prefacing and muttering and then reaching for her pocket. You just never know with the zombies. They have pulled out guns and knives before on people. And there was a creepy weirdo at QFC, and he looked like a white male with, I think, blondish hair, older, and he was wearing a kind of grayish brown corduroy, and he was playing medicine, like a threat to kidnap or drug you, like maybe he's a heroin addict. So I yelled at him, and then he said next time he'd shoot me instead or something. And then he walked off into QFC. Nobody's normal here. They're all depraved lunatic zombies. And then there were other incidents throughout the course of the day, including people harassing me. I have type 2 diabetes, among other problems, and I was eating a little dinner at the bus stop. I decided to do things a different way, so I went into QFC. The produce section, I didn't get any produce like an avocado because I smelled some sort of flesh too nearby that avocado area. I smelled like a rotted flesh, and these bums like to play with rotted flesh, and it's usually torture victims. It's always a popular activity also to target people that are white, Semites, and warm-skinned Europeans and that look white. And I'm on a genocide list and target list. And this thing's muttering behind me, I think.
Next stop, Avenue North and North.
Well, anyway, somebody threw glass at me, and people like your doctor even will pretend it's imagination, and I've actually shown glass scars. And my hands are full of glass grooves because these bums will literally key people. And also, what is keying? Passing air. You key thousands of times, to hundreds of thousands. And then strangers like to maybe even put substances that would make you sick in your apartment or home, and also glass. It's also popular to throw it on white-looking Semites and warm-skinned Europeans when they're in public. And I've been hit 2 to 3 times today, including by a creepy guy that was across from the fire station, and he said something about taking care of me. The zombie bums will play the opposite of their intent. Didn't know him. He's a creepy guy, and you wouldn't want to know any of the males or females here. Anyway, and then another one passed his hand over my head. He probably got me. And then the checker thing in QFC. I will note it was a plain female with kind of a small head and dark wavy hair and glasses. I just realized something. And I've seen that checker. She goes to Green Lake Plaza. I saw her driving in. I saw her. And Green Lake Plaza Apartments. It's, what you have with these zombies, you have networks where they will cut up and torture people and animals. And they usually like to skulk around in crawl spaces of buildings, including businesses. And it's not ghosts, it's not demons. And they like to go through trap doors. And my own relatives have been apparently enhancing and building places to enter and ways to stay and come and go in people's houses, apartments, and businesses for years. And to sort of maintain a very low profile. The zombies will literally, you might find yourself the target of hundreds of millions of morons, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of morons, if you're on the target list, all spreading propaganda about you. And what is the propaganda for? Well, it endangers you. They'll use it to directly endanger you, but also to blur who you are. And then they can drag you off and you don't have any kind of identity left if you allow them. They'll even try to call you by a different name. Getting out here with the dolly, like there are bums that have tried to force me to let them call me. Oh, man the ramp. They've tried to make me go by the name of Linda, including in my building, Green Lake Plaza. Based on skin coloring and eye color. It's not uncommon. And I will have you note that most people in Washington are walking around with quite a few identities. This thing's playing King Solomon. These things will mutter decrees, including in code. They think they're hot, you know what, because they basically walked off with people. So that repulsive, ugly thing in front of me has walked off with people. They'll tell people what to do, and they'll have people beat you, rape you, torture you, throw glass on you wherever you go. Happens anyway, so I might as well fight. I'll go down with the ship. I've also been gang raped. This thing just muttered, "Shut the fuck up, you ugly hooker bitch. You don't talk to people. You're an ugly rag." They also targeted anybody who was pretty, nice, normal. So because she's ugly and inferior, that's why she was left behind. This thing was putting his fist up, playing Obey Madam. What you're going to see is very inferior moron. That's basically what's left. So they targeted people that were white, Semite, and warm-skinned European. They also targeted them for being some kind of, well, if they were pretty, nice, normal, if they were intelligent. And what's some of it? Well, again, they obscure the identity. And, oh, this whore's playing Negroid. So they play a game back and forth of, you're white, we're going to get you. And then the Negroids will play, they like to play the word Negroid, by the way. They'll play, you're coming with us, you're a Negroid. And you and your ugly bastard can fuck off. And you are about an inch from a mental hospital prostitute, and your kid's about an inch from CPS calls. You're on video trying to tell me what to do, and she is a slaver. And by the way, your child is an ugly mongoloid, and so are you. So, what you're getting, if you caught that, she was muttering, yapping, commands, threats at me. Don't know the ugly bitch, but the ugly bitch thinks you're just going to walk off with her. No, she's going to walk to a mental hospital and a CPS call. And I think she made the word, or said the word beaten. That's for you, cunt. That's your respect. So, in Washington, slavery and the illegal organs trade, they're quite big trades. And that thing is in on millions of people dying. 31 million people in 20 years. And I'm not even white. And like I said, the game is, oh, you're a Nazi, we'll get you. You've got green eyes, you've got white skin. Oh, you're a Negroid, we're going to get you. I think she's Asian street gang. He's no good. I think he lives in the condos across the street. Which are connected with this crime-ridden building. Remember, I'm not white. I'm actually a quarter to an, or eighth to a quarter black. I don't want to overestimate. And an eighth or something Indian. Native American Indian. But I'm a target every day because of light skin and green eyes. My skin is stinging. I've had probably 3 glass attacks. So that checker that through the glass, yes, they connect. She's probably a Zeta, by the way. And I've seen her driving up to this building when there was a kidnapping threat. And that other thing behind me, it's not unusual for the scum to threaten slavery. And they'll talk to you in code like you're going to come with me and be hearse dog. Now, there are a lot of threats of slavery in this building. And there are usually home invasion threats, including in this building, of people coming behind me, people taking over my apartment. There is no peace. And if I taped 24/7, you wouldn't believe it. Now, there usually are a lot of ambush threats from 207. Now, there's trap doors. There's people that come down from this area where there's beams. There's people, I'm not kidding you, because you'll hear it. Somebody actually called the police on it. Twice. Somebody called the police on the noise in the crawl space of the dark green areas. So I had to work my way through a gamut of morons threatening me, including a guy with a gun. And they literally, the scum in Washington, will also advertise you. Believe me, it's not karma like, oh, Lisa's a bad person. It is what it is. It's scum. And there's a moron playing They Obviously Scarred. Now, where's the shit-ass male talking from? They're talking from an area of the closet, and he's playing premise They Obviously Scarred. So what's the bum meaning or preface? What is the bum retard trying to pull? Because remember, they talk in code, and you could actually round them up because they're retardos. So the bum means, oh, Lisa must have been scarring people, that's why she's scarred. What's that? That's called propaganda. So if I've scarred people, why would I be living in a hovel with nothing in it because bums would kick down the door. You want to know something about the person who does scar people in Washington? It's walking around comfortably like that bitch that made a slave threat with her ugly bastard. And there was another bitch, it was a whiter looking bitch, with her ugly bastard. She got told off too. Don't worry. They don't get favoritisms just because they look white. They are what they are. They're worthless zombies. But I am so glad I went to QFC and recognized the retarded checker. I'm going to put my stuff down for a minute. And what I have to do is kind of make sure the premises are locked. And what you're hearing is people that are illegally in a crawl space. They're not, if you heard the mail, which it has been heard on Periscope, and a whore in the closet is making a threat about shooting. And by the way, my gross relatives are all involved with this kind of activity. I just dropped something, and I don't know where I dropped it. So I put it down. Where? Oh. So you get to look at the dirty floor. It's dirty for a reason. I don't spend time here. There's no reason. Why don't I spend time? Well, if I did spend time, I get to hear the door being kicked at. I get to hear chanting 24/7. And I get to hear animals being tortured, which is awful, as you know, and people being tortured. And then I'd have to smell the smell of blood and guts and urine and fecal. And I'm going to tell you a little something about zombies. They are grotesque freaks, and they like to play with urine and fecal. And I don't want to. I hope you didn't see the toilet. I've got the plunger in there, but things don't work. Why? Well, there's a pattern of deficiency in Washington, a pattern of the inferior surviving, and that's about it. So that would explain any negative, creepy feelings and depression I had 30 years ago even. 40 years ago. What was it? It's the fact that Washington people were killing off smart, pretty, nice, and normal. There's a moron playing fixing, and remember these retards, as they're sacrificing people and playing with bones and rotted flesh, these retardos are acting as though they're magical. So that's what I'm surrounded by 24/7. Let's put it this way. There was a guy screaming and pounding on his suitcase on the bus. It wasn't any different than the rest of Washington. The most retarded person you could find is not any different than Washington. In fact, if I hear a severely retarded person and they're leaving me alone, it's actually, well, it's better than having to listen to the other retarded people that are no different. It's just that the dirty cops even hid the records of the severely retarded. And people killed whomever irked them. As in, oh, it's a good-looking girl. Oh, it's a smart girl. Oh, it's a nice girl. It's pretty. It's talented. It's a handsome guy. Oh, it's smart. He's talented. He's taller than I am. Plus, why else do they kill them? Because they've taken their identity. So one of them is chanting McCollum. You don't even want to enter into any kind of conversation about chanting and what they mean. Why? And then here comes a little silver car, by the way. you don't want to enter any conversations. Looks like I'm typing to someone, and I'm not even typing because I put the phone down. So I'm going to put this in. So I've got the traffic cam on. It's actually working okay. It's not sideways. It is on a split screen. So I'm going to have to restart it because split screen drives me nuts. Now the good thing is I could still, actually maybe I'll use it. It's hard to turn around split screen, but it's there apparently. Well, it was, where you can turn it around on the camera. So that's the bad part about split screen. You can't, oh, and there's a whore playing money. When I woke up, this is Lisa Guthrie.